So now it brings me to this question about your childhood, which is, I think, very pertinent to, given what you just told us about how you got into the Adhyatmic side of things. So what were those things that maybe influences or, things that drove you towards the Adhyatmic side as a child? Because you had, I mean, I've read that you had a very, your father was a raw officer, and you traveled quite a bit as a child, and so a very ordinary, boy next door kind of a life. So how did this happen? And I believe you ran away from home to find God. So that's unusual. Not every kid does that. I mean, people try to run away from, from their parents and, maybe to become actors in Bollywood or something, but not to find God. So how could you talk a little bit about that journey?
Yeah, actually, of course, I got a very good family background. My parents are very lovely parents. They're not very spiritually very stalwarts, but they're very religiously inclined. And I remember when we were in Northeast, we spent a good amount of time in Northeast. So sometimes when there is no light, there is no electricity, that too for hours. So this was a culture at home to chant the names of God. And we used to chant Hari Om Tat Sat, Hari Om Tat Sat. Maha mantra hai ye japa kar Hari Om Tat Sat, Hari Om Tat Sat. This we used to do for hours and hours. All sitting together because there is no light, nothing to do.
What can you do?
Hari Om Tat Sat. This is what we used to do. So that was a cultural background which I got. I was really blessed to have such lovely parents. Although Punjabi parents, but religious Punjabi parents, which is sometimes an oxymoron.
Rare combination.
And religious? How come? Punjabi are balle balle. But I was really blessed to have Punjabi parents, but very warm, very loving. At the same time, they gave me some spiritual, some taste right from very beginning of childhood. So I always had the feeling of gratitude that God gave me everything the best, but I'm such a rascal. I'm such an ungrateful person that God gave me everything so nice. My parents are so nice. My sisters are so lovely. In academics, I was not really a topper, but in top 5. In sports, whether it is cricket, badminton, volleyball, football, I was a champion. Whether it is extracurricular activities like drawing, painting, sketching, singing, dancing, I would score either first rank or first 3 ranks. I could see God has given me so much. But I'm such a rascal that I do not reciprocate with gratitude. So any new achievement in my life would come and would suffocate me. Okay, best painting award, sketch award goes to my name. So just see, God give you even this, but you rascal, you're not given anything in return to God. So that
did it really come as a thought to you while you were in school, in class, receiving these awards and these? Did it come to you as a?
Yeah, actually, there was one speaker. He came to our school, and he spoke about gratitude. And I really loved that lecture. So this gratitude thing was now there as a part of my thinking mechanism. Gratitude, and ultimately gratitude towards God for all that which He has given to me. So that was one thing. Secondly, I got attracted to Bhagavad Gita by reading some verses in the Gita of the Gita in Sanskrit NCERT book. Where it was mentioned Chanchalam Krishna.
Unusual that NCERT book had a quote by Bhagavad.
There was a time when people were secular and yet they were religious. Now it is secular and non-religious. So then Chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramathi balavadridam. That mind is very restless, very stubborn, very powerful, very strong. But see, my goodness, how come an NCERT book can expose my mind? My mind is chanchal. My mind is stubborn. So then I asked my teacher. So my teacher told me that actually there are 700 verses in your NCERT book. In this chapter, Gita Shlokam, only 7 verses are there. I thought that if these few verses are exposing me so much, what about those 700 verses? They would expose me so much. So I became thirsty to read Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So this was around 8th or 9th standard. So I became thirsty for Bhagavad Gita. Thirdly, I had the desire to do welfare of the people. So earlier I had the plan, I'll become a millionaire and I will serve the poor people. But I could see that people are suffering less because of body, but more because of mind. So log tan se kam dukhi hai, log man se zyada dukhi hai. So I should serve the mind. But how to then serve the mind? That was a question. But when I read the Bhagavad Gita, my mind became blossomed. My mind got uplifted. So I could see that to serve the mind is to give spiritual education.
So you read the Gita while you were still in school, Prabhuji?
Oh yes, I read around 8 different versions of Bhagavad Gita.
Wow, that is.
Yeah, Dr. Roberts' Bhagavad Gita and Ramanacharya's Bhagavad Gita, and Vishnu Sharma's Bhagavad Gita, and Dr. Radhakrishnan's Bhagavad Gita, and Divine Life Bhagavad Gita. These are some 8 different versions of Bhagavad Gita.
Gita Press is.
Gita Press Bhagavad Gita, yes. But the one which was most spiritually uplifting was Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, because I could see the person is addicted to God and he wants to give this addiction to the reader. I could see that. So this was, other were very intellectually very stimulating, but this was spiritually very uplifting and stimulating. So Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita as it is, where the person is very deliberate, very, very desperate to give God. Hey reader, please take God, please. That kind of I could feel in his writing. So in this way, I started reading the Bhagavad Gita, and then I thought that let me become a monk, because by being a millionaire, I can't spread the teachings of the Gita. I have to become a monk. So it was like a radical change, diametrically opposite change. Instead of becoming a millionaire, I decided to be a monk. And that's why, so these 3 things could be fulfilled. And now I'm reciprocating to God that whatever good I have, I'm using it back in service to humanity and God, of course. And my taste for Bhagavad Gita and to spread it to the people, that also got fulfilled. Now it's a social work which I am doing. Today, so many hundreds and thousands of people, they say, well, Amogh Lila Prabhuji, you changed our life. Earlier we used to take tangadi, but now we are taking vegetarian. Earlier we used to take non-veg, but now we take naan and we take some veg. We take stuff
non-veg.
And then some veg. So now we have non-veg to naan-veg. Thank you for this transformation, Prabhuji. So grateful to you.
This is
so people are becoming better. Many husband wives who were fighting with each other with their hairs standing on end, because I pulled your hair, you pull my hair. People come with this raised hair. So I would settle their hair by making them having good relationship. So in this way, I could contribute to society. So all the 3 desires of mine got fulfilled by being a monk.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.